Churchill says. Failure, failure, failure leading to success. Sometimes, one of the things that is said sometimes is that how are you going to succeed in business? You're either going to have, as a very simplistic statement, a low price strategy or differentiation. And probably the most successful low price strategy in Europe and certainly in Ireland is Ryanair. And Michael O'Leary is a person, strangely, perhaps coming from me, that I have the utmost regard for, and that I actually believe is a very customer-oriented person. Strange. And I'm sure that would, because 70 million people are flying, 55 million of whom probably would never have flown if Ryanair hadn't come into business, because of the way we were being screwed before the arrival of Ryanair by companies who are supposed to be customer-oriented. So the differentiation, innovation, and I find sometimes dealing with students and dealing with businesses that we still seem to think that the creativity only comes in white coats, and yet everybody here is creative if we could bring it out of ourselves. And I deal, and I've had the great gift and pleasure of dealing with students in this university for the past 20 odd years. Very, very, very bright people. The kinds of points that they are required to get in here to do commerce is absolutely crazy. And most of us on this side of the counter teaching them never got next or near those bloody points, and perhaps wouldn't get near them if we had to do the goddamn leaving again. But I'm interested in them in terms of their confidence. For instance, I used to be responsible for a course called Services Marketing. And about 18 years ago, I introduced a seminar in that course on dramaturgy, specifically on improvisation. Because basically I argue in customer service that front of house people are on stage playing roles, performing, acting. And my research question is, what, if anything, can we learn from the world of acting that will help us train front of house people to do an excellent customer service job? And one of the areas that I've specialised in is improvisation. Do you improvise? Do you make it up as you go along? Just talk to front of house people and ask them that question. Say, of course, every bloody day. So 18 years ago I introduced a seminar on improvisation in this university. And I did it with tongue in cheek. And the first students who went on that, I did a very strict evaluation. And they came to me and they said, Aidan, in 3 or 4 years at university, that's the most exciting stuff we've done. It's different. So students come to me, our Irish students come to me when I was responsible for the course and say, Aidan, you're responsible for services marketing, aren't you? Yes, I am. Is it true that you ask questions in class? Yes, it is. Is it true that you know us by name and ask us, say, Mary, John, what do you think? How did Jesus doesn't know our name? Because I stare at that bloody photographs at night. Is it true that we have to stand up and give presentations? Yes, it is. Is it true that we have to write an essay for it? Yes, it is. And is it true that there's some drama bloody thing that we have to go on? And I say, yes, it is. Fine, I'm not doing the course. Just want to sit there and be blotting papers. The Americans come in. They say, hi, I hear you're responsible for services marketing. Yes, I am. I hear you ask questions. Yes, I do. Great. Discussion in class. I hear you make us do a presentation. Yeah, I do. Great. I hear we have to write essays and there's continuous assessment for it. Yeah. And I hear you got some drama thing. I've never heard of this before. Yes, that's right. Great, I can't wait to do the program. And in class, when I say, what do you think of such and such? Heads go down. Because Mick, Jesus, and Mick would know, of course, but I thought I wasn't sure the man. And anyway, I might be wrong. And what did Mary think? The Americans straight up. It could be off the wall. Or it could be Einstein stuff. If they have the confidence to do it. And I wonder about this thing of confidence and innovation, etc. And I love to go on those 6 thinking hats for innovation. And without going through all the 6, I find too much of the black hat. The black hat is futuristic. Okay, so we tried that before. Oh, didn't work. Ah, yeah, that old smart ass had that idea before. We send him packing. Or, you know, too often well, let me play devil's advocate. You recognise that guy? Now, devil's advocates are necessary. But shouldn't we have more of the yellow hat? The thinking hat? Huh? Shouldn't we have more of the green hat? The what if we do it this way? What if we do it that way? Etc. And that's why I quoted my other hero, Kipling, at the earlier session about question, and I hope that the students that graduate on me will question how this theory, and what about this, and what about that. And Kipling said, I keep 6 honest serving men. They taught me all I know. Their names are what, and why, and when, and how, and where, and who. Let's get questioning the way we do things, because as Pat said earlier, there's tons of opportunity. There's tons of opportunity just to think through improving what Pat is doing, changing things, changing what John's doing, etc. At school, to end, when I went to school, I had earlier on, even as a 13-year-old, I had objectives very quickly when I arrived at school. I saw who the heroes were. The heroes were the lads on the SCT, the senior cup team. They were gods in the school. So I had 3 objectives in school. The first was to get on the rugby team. And I played out half, but in those days, I see out halves tackling these days. Jesus, I didn't tackle. I was a prima donna. I failed to tackle. There were big fellas coming at me with studs in their boots and everything. You wouldn't tackle fellas like that. I was the greatest passer of the ball. Could I find touch? I could find touch. Let's find touch, I tell you. That was the first objective, achieved. The second one was to play in the annual opera, which I've never ever forgotten, and thus my love of theatre. And the analogy of theatre and why I'm involved with 6 guys in the States in this type of research. And the third one was to pass the exams. Pass the exams. Not too much. Just, Father Martin Daly is a friend of mine here, and he was saying to me that he met an Italian on holiday in Italy, and eventually the Italian found out that Martin is a priest. And the Italian said, "Oh, you are a priest?" He said, "Oh, I too, I'm Catholic." And Father Martin said, "So you go to Mass every Sunday?" Hang on. I said, "I'm Catholic, not a fanatic." So by the same token, I wasn't fanatical about getting too much over the pass mark. And in those days, you wandered into UCD, as it was then for me in Dublin, not UCG, and decided what you do. And I remember queuing up with a guy for commerce, and I played football against him. He was a cabin fella, and I played in Monaghan. And we were talking to me anyway, and he said to me after, he said, "Check this." He said, "This queue's too long. I'm going over there." And I said, "But that's medicine, John McConnell. That'll do right, please." He's not a surgeon. He's actually a plastic surgeon. I met him recently, and I can't divulge his name, but I said to him, "I hear you're a plastic surgeon." Yeah. And Christ, I said, "You must be making a fortune." No, he said, "I'm not making a fortune at all." He says, "The big money's in boobs, and I don't do boobs." And I said to him, "By God, I tell you, I wouldn't let you near any woman that I know." Ladies and gentlemen, that was a very rambling, disorganised few thoughts on failure. It seems to me that failure is inevitable. We're going to fail. I'm due on the first tee at 5:30. I could knock it down as far as the ladies' tee. On the other hand, I could send it to 100 yards. But whatever the hell I do, I tell you, I'll get up and try again. And I think that's the main thing. Thank you very much.